Cultural, religious and social traditions have strongly impacted the lives of women across the world. While the status of women has seen an enormous change over the past centuries, dark ages are not yet over for women in many countries. Several societies continue to uphold traditions that subject them to physical, mental and sexual exploitation. Many of such sexist and inhuman practices have been abolished. However, there remain a plethora of traditions that perpetuate misogyny and abuse. For many women, remaining true to a particular custom often means excruciating pain, mutilation, and even death. So today, we are going to tell you about the most inhumane practices in the world that persecute women. 1. Breast ironing. Having breasts is shameful and attracts unwanted male attention. With this idea in mind, mothers in Cameroon and several other African countries pound the breasts of their young daughters with hot iron tools or even stones to stop them from growing. The extremely painful practice of breast ironing is carried out on girls as young as 10 to delay their first sexual encounters and avoid early pregnancies. The victims suffer various physical and psychological consequences and the scars remain for life. Some possible after effects include formation of cysts, malformed breasts and inverted nipples. Some of the victims may find it impossible to breastfeed their children. The practice has also reportedly spread to African communities in the UK. Conservative MP Jake Berry recently demanded that this ritualized form of child abuse be outlawed in Britain. 2. Sexual cleansing of widows. Widows in parts of Tanzania and Kenya undergo the ritual of sexual cleansing, after which they are inherited by their in-laws. The custom dictates that the widow has sex with one of her brothers-in-law to exorcise the spirit of her dead spouse. Women who oppose this tradition are chased out of their matrimonial homes and not given any share in their husband's property or livestock. Worse, the women are also ostracized by the community. The practice also exposes these women to the risk of contracting sexually transmitted diseases. Very often male relatives refuse to have sex with the widow owing to HIV epidemic. In such cases, professional cleansers are hired to do the job. Using condom is a taboo as it is only the cleanser's sperm that has the power to cleanse and purify the widow. 3. Finger amputation. Members of Dani tribe in Papua, Indonesia are known to cut off the top part of one of their fingers to mourn death in the family. Though death affects everyone equally, only women are subjected to this agonizing ritual. Half an hour before the top part of finger is cut off, it is allowed to go numb by tightly tying a string around it. After the amputation, the fingertips are cauterized. The mutilation is based on the belief that death, being a permanent loss, should be grieved in a way that the emotional pain manifests into visible physical distress. The practice has now been banned, and younger women refrain from this extreme version of grieving. 4. Women removed to cattle sheds. Menstruating women in parts of Nepal are isolated and removed to cattle sheds where they sleep among cows and buffaloes. The practice of chapati, though ruled illegal by country's top court, is still widely observed. It forbids women from entering their own houses and touching anything or anyone during the duration of their menstrual period. They are confined to the filthy sheds littered with insects and dung and the excruciating stench of animal excreta hanging in the air. Women are considered impure during their periods, and those who touch them undergo rituals to purify themselves. The menstruating women relieve themselves in the open because they are not allowed to use family lavatories. Activists say that the tradition is practiced to varying degrees by women across the country. If the family owns only a single room, the menstruating member is banished to a corner as she must live separately for the entire duration of her menstrual cycle. 5. Genital mutilation. Genital mutilation is the price young girls pay for their impending womanhood in parts of Africa, the Middle East and Asia. Female genital mutilation is the ritualistic removal, partial or complete, of the external genitalia, constituting an extreme form of discrimination against women. The custom, recognized as a gross violation of human rights, is known to reduce a woman's libido and therefore keep her off sexual debauchery. The practice continues unabated despite being banned in many countries. The genitalia are cut by a traditional circumciser, often in unhygienic conditions, using razors, knives or even stones without anesthesia. However, some countries have medicalized the custom, meaning that trained health workers carry out the procedure. In some communities, the procedure involves partial closure of the vaginal opening, only leaving a small hole for urine and menstrual fluid passage. The woman undergoes a painful reversal of this procedure on her wedding to allow intercourse. The health consequences suffered due to the procedure could include infection, gangrene, excessive bleeding, and even death. 6. Force-feeding young girls. Young girls are force-fed unhealthy, high-calorie diets to make them appealing to their prospective suitors in North Africa's Mauritania. The practice, called le bleu or gavage, has been in vogue for the past several centuries in the drought-prone country where obesity among women is celebrated and overweight girls score over their thin counterparts. Girls as young as 6 are sent to special, fattening, camps during their school holidays where they are force-fed 20 liters of milk, at least 2 kilograms of millet and 2 cups of butter every day. Girls who don't comply are punished and sometimes forced to ingest their vomit if they throw up. The daily intake is up to 16,000 calories. Although a change in attitude is evident in urban populations following an awareness campaign by the government, the cult of obesity continues to play havoc with the lives of young women in rural Mauritania. The practice, in many regions, has taken a horrid turn as girls are now taking drugs, steroids, and even animal growth hormones to fatten up. So, what do you think about these rituals? Do you agree with these? For more interesting facts, stay with us, subscribe and turn on the notification by simply tapping the bell icon and selecting all. See you soon with a new video.